This is from the Mala of God from Guruji, and this just came. I know it's a silent retreat. I did not sit down and write. It just came. So if I sing wrong, please understand I did not practice. Let your hand be my hand. Let your love be my love. Let your body be my body. Let your mind be my mind. Oh, let my heart be your heart. Let my voice be your voice. Let my spirit be your spirit. Let my life be you. Only you. Only you. Let my voice be your voice and my spirit be your spirit. Let my life be you. Only you. Only you. Let your hand be my hand. Let your love be my love. Let my body be your body. Let your mind be my mind. Oh, let my heart be your heart. Let my voice be your voice and my spirit be your spirit. Let my life be you. Only you. Only you. Let my voice be your voice and your spirit be my spirit. Let my life be you, life be you, only you. Let this voice be your voice and my spirit be your spirit. Let my life be you.
Namaste everyone. Very warm welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Shri Muji Ji ki Jai. It's not, it's working. Yeah. It's working. Yeah. To see whether it's going online, the audio, I have to see for those that there's a equalizer bar over there. So if it moves, if the green moves, then I know it's going. It's working well, I think. Prior to any appearance, prior to any idea, before any effort, before any finding, any discovery, Before this now, before anything, you are. This self is ever present. Before waking, before sleep, before dream, before turiya, before awakening, before freedom, before bondage, before experience, before thought, before emotion, you are. There is nowhere to go. There is nothing to find. You have never left the destination. You can only be this. There is no need to struggle. There is no cause even for celebration. Because this you have always been. Before all the tricks of the mind, before all the sensations in the body, before all appearances in this realm, you are here. Before here was here, before there was there, you are. This is too simple for the mind to understand. Stop feeding the mind also with any spirituality. There was a time for that, and now it is done. Before you and I, that absolute one, you are. You are here now. There is no ego here. There never was. You are done with the play as a work of fiction. Now you play as God. All of this is your Leela. It is for your joy. Even your grief you enjoy. There is no need to renounce this realm. There is no need to renounce anything at all. Just renounce this false voice which tries to convince you that you are something that never existed. Don't resist any appearance because it is your play. There is neither the doer nor the thinker. Both doing and thinking are appearances dancing in front of you. There is nothing to get. There is nothing you can lose. There is nowhere to go. And there is nowhere to stay. Not even God can change what you are, the eternal absolute self. The witness of this entire manifestation, which is nothing but a grain of sand compared to what you are. What divine magic must this be, that you can pretend to be a speck within this grain of sand and pretend to look for yourself, which was never lost. This divine Maya is for your own joy. No person has ever lived here Prior to even being, you are. The knowingness of all there is. Which cannot be seen by worldly eyes, and yet it is undeniable. What Maya is this that we gather here today to look for something that was never lost? Knowing that this is also part of the same divine play. And in this play, may we all come to this realization, if that is your will. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
These words are so pure, they're so beyond. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you too.
The words of God, truly.
Thank you. So, what are you going to play as now? Are you going to play as Krishna, or are you going to play as Arjuna? Or neither? Are you going to play as the witness of both? Actually, the play, if you were to play as the witness of both, is the end of the play. Oh, yes, yes. We have this, one of the most popular Indian scriptures, actually, is a scripture called the Bhagavad Gita. And this one was set in a war zone. Two armies are facing each other. And there was this famous warrior called Arjuna. And his charioteer was Lord Krishna. He was playing this role of charioteer. There's a big story around how that happened. But Arjuna was in a dilemma because Arjuna said the opposing side is full of relatives. They're all relatives. And he says, how can I attack my own relatives? You see, what is it a metaphor for? The opposing side actually are all our attachments. And we have invested in them so long. So when the master comes and says that this is not true, this is all part of the play, you are not that, then Arjuna says, but I love them. These are mine. You see? And that's why I say that in the appearance, when we call something me or mine, that is the root of suffering. You see? So we've attached to these appearances and said me and mine. So in this scripture, the Bhagavad Gita, in this war zone, Krishna speaks to Arjuna and explains to him the truth. This is where it comes from. And it is the great Indian sage, Nisargadatta Maharaj, who said once that why is it that we always come into satsang with the Arjuna perspective, that I am the lost seeker and the Guru is Krishna who will sort me out. Why is it not possible for us to take the Krishna perspective and see the truth for ourselves and come into satsang as Krishna himself? I found that very beautiful when he said.
Krishna said to Arjuna, I am Krishna, I am you, I am also Duryodhana,
Yes.
the opposite
Yeah.
side. I am also.
Very good. All is a play of one consciousness. The mind is also consciousness. You see, many times I get this objection in satsang that why are you so hard on the mind all the time? Is it not consciousness? I say, of course, I know that it is consciousness, but so is a serial killer. You see? Does that mean we should go and hug a serial killer? No. Everything that is appearing is consciousness, is God. The mind, like my master says, is not your friend. Not yet. It is the mind itself which comes and says, why are you so hard on the mind? Is it not consciousness? You see? So when the stage is reached in the play, where we are done playing as the ego, then there comes a time where this Duryodhan must be let go of. Although it is also consciousness. And then Arjuna starts to play as Krishna. I'd still like to meet those who are feeling somewhat stuck and those who haven't come up yet, those who haven't met here on the hot seat. No one is stuck? Also Kavita, yes. Yes, come. Yes, could you move your chair a little this side? I'm sorry. You can switch around if you want. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So, the stuckness is just, again, I guess, the mind, a
Yes.
habit of the mind.
Yes.
And, it's been a journey for me. For when I first came here, it was Arunachala Shiva
Yes.
was the mountain was father.
Yes.
He was everything.
Yes.
Then came Ramana, and then I fell in love with Ramana. And then
Yes.
suddenly Yogi Ram Kumar,
Yes.
and now I'm calling you father. And then there's also Muji.
Yeah.
So mind is getting very confused as to who's the father, and
Yes.
I mean, I also feels a bit guilty because it's like, am I deserting or
Deserting.
yeah? And I walk into the ashram, everybody looking at me like, "What are you doing there? You should be here," kind
Yeah.
of.
Yes.
So, and of course, it's also started much before that
Yes.
with Yogiram, with Guru Mai, Nityanand Babu. There's been several saints,
Yes.
several paths, several mantras, and I just feel sometimes, have I not done those? That's why I'm here. Like, have I not believed in those enough? It's just the mind. I know that, and I trust that I'm here for a reason. At the same time, one wonders, one wants to just offer this up.
Yes.
Like you said too, you had met many gurus,
Yes.
and it hasn't happened. Like I haven't seen a particular guru and said, "This is it."
Yes. Yes.
It hasn't happened for me, excepting with the mountain.
Yes.
That just kind of instantly fell in love with the
Yeah.
mountain. Everything else has been like, the guru's presence has come into your life and you adore it and you love it. And so just feeling a bit like, I close my eyes and who do I focus on? Some anchor. Who's the anchor now? And
Yes.
should I repeat the name? Or should I do the who am I? And seva.
I
There's
know
so much
this.
service. Like
Yes.
doing work in the ashrams, and there's so much happening.
Yeah.
So wonder whether that's too much on the
Yeah.
buffet. Just choose
Yeah.
one. So it's just the mind again. Sorry.
It's very good, and actually, it reminds me somewhat of what happened here, and things. It's good. I often say that what happened when I met my master was I just stopped all of this. Yeah. And you can stop now.
I pray that it does.
No, just don't even pray, just stop. You see? Yeah. And then doesn't mean that all movement stops, that any action stops. But I stop, and we'll talk more so it becomes clearer. Hmm. Something here which felt like I am doing this, I am doing that, I am here, I am there, I am everywhere. You see, not in the nice way, I am everywhere, in the sense I'm scattered all over the place. You see, this one just stops. What stops? The intention stops. The grasping stops. The needing stops. The sense of lack that I have to get somewhere, I have to get it. See, this stops. And you say that I fell in love with the mountain. There's no better love you can have. You see, this mountain is that which even Bhagwan called Guru. Every one that you mention, at least in your case, all of them are authentically pointing to the same thing without any agendas. Many who've been on this spiritual shopping trip cannot say that actually. You see, so this is also grace. But all of them, we met with Ma Devaki last time together, and she said something very beautiful. She said that satsang is much more valuable than many lifetimes of chanting. You see? So even she is pointing to the same thing. Because in satsang, when you're here, it is a mirror to your own self. This becomes so clear here because there's a power here which brings you to the right now. And when I say, can we check together what is here? Then it seemed like that which was so difficult to do outside now seems much more possible. You see? So this was Kavita's story. So let's forget about Kavita for some time and see what is here now.
The silence.
Silence is here. You know this silence or no? Is it that someone has to tell you that there is silence here or you know it?
Yeah, it's I am that. I am that silence.
This silence is not the absence of words, isn't it? It is more of the absence of that which is false, absence of the ego. Is there any lack in this silence? Is there anything missing? Is it confused about anything? Does it want to know what to do next?
No, nothing.
Can you leave this behind?
It's blank. It's nothing there. There's no time, nothing.
No time. Does the play of Kavita seem authentic to you, or does this silence seem more authentic to you now?
There's this longing coming up always. I don't know whether it's Kavita or what, but there's just this longing all the time.
This longing is good. See, there is a difference between a longing and a need. Longing is the primal urge to come back home. Longing is the child saying, I've had enough of this playing. I'm ready to go back to my father. And you say that many I have called Father. You see, but many you have called Father, but none so far you have utilized as Father. What does it mean? It,
Not surrendered enough. Yeah.
and this is not meant to cause you any guilt. It is just meant to show you that now when you say Father to any form in this realm, then let it all be Father's problem.
Somewhere it is. I feel like I have surrendered a lot. At the same time, it's not complete. It's
This
not.
surrenderer
You
must
said.
also be go. You see.
Mm.
The I that has surrendered and the I that is experiencing the fruits of this surrender, this one is also Father. That's why I say that prayer starts like this, that you are the doer and I am the experiencer. Please take care of my life. You see? It starts like this. But if it just remains as that, then it's only a business transaction. It can start. It's very beautiful. It's a very beautiful start. That I bow down to you. Please take care of my life. Take care of me. But as it deepens this prayer and it is authentic, then it is seen that you are the doer and you are also the experiencer of all of this. I cannot find this me. You are praying to yourself, Father. You see? In our scriptures it is said that the prayer is Tvam Karta Tvam Bhokta, which is you are the doer and you are the experiencer. You see? And there are many versions that manifest in this realm of this half surrender. One we talked about, which is that you are the doer, but I must still be the experiencer, so please make sure it's like this. Some who are attracted to pride, for them, they are the doers of all the good things that happen. You see, and God is the doer of all the bad things that happen in their life. So, like this pride, those who are naturally inclined towards pride, those who are naturally inclined towards guilt, they feel they are the doers of all the bad things, and God is the doer of all the good things. This is also false. You see, false humility. So many variations we've made of this. You are the doer and you are the experiencer. You see, this I am the experiencer is cause for big trouble because everyone here, not everyone, most here enjoy being the victim. See, this victimhood is the most popular belief. So once this is looked at, that if there is one doer, which is God or is my master, then who must be experiencing all of this? Can there be two? The doer is doing something and there's a separate one that is experiencing. It cannot be, isn't it? Therefore, it must be one. Then all doing and all experiencing is surrendered. And in this surrender, then the concept of you and I also ultimately fades away. Jesus said something, no? I'm not a great Bible scholar, but he said, my Father and I are one. What did he say? Anyone knows their Bible well? So, My father and I are one. This is what it means. You see? Now, Kavita might be lurking there saying, but what am I supposed to do now? Yeah. Or she might come up later. Yeah. But you see that you are this silent witnessing of this entire realm, which is not even longing for freedom. The longing is arising within your being, which is pointing you back home. But home is already here. And what happens is that because the external manifestation of the master is just a reflection of your inner presence, and when the urge arises to come back home, it reveals itself in different ways. So that has been happening, but actually there is only one master. If you feel a sense of peace, a sense of love in the presence of one being, and also I say that if that trust and surrender doesn't come automatically, then do your due diligence. You see?
What is that?
Due diligence means, what do we check for? First is to check what is the state. Is it peaceful? Is it loving? What do I experience in the presence of this one? The resonance is experienced. You see? Second, when I say due diligence, I mean check, really check for any form of exploitation. And there are many forms of exploitation. There are psychological, mental, emotional, physical, monetary. All these forms of exploitation are there. And if you get a smell of any of these, run. Yeah? If you
Find
get
another one.
yes, run. I would say, because it's better. Because I met many who said, I went to this one and something was irking me right from the beginning. But something, I bought into the stories and the excuses. I bought into this excuse that the master's way you will not understand. He's doing this only for you. Yesterday also we were talking about something like this, where a friend came and she was here in this room actually. And she came and said that I came to Thiru and I met the sadhu and something happened between us. We got into a relationship sort of thing. And he says that I have no needs, but I recognize that you had this need for physical something and I'm just fulfilling it, you see, because I'm such a great man. This is the most cowardly exploitation, and it's very rampant actually. That's why I keep repeating this point. And someone also, another friend was saying that it's very common in India that Westerners come and sadhus tell them these kind of things and these things happen. Then what happened is, then she says, what should I do? I said, run. And something was not, because something was involved in that. It was sticky. Then she says, this one says that in India, if you engage in these kind of activities, then you must be married. So you have to marry me because you see. That means a free ticket to, just whatever. So I said no. Then what happened is that because it was sticky and something had bought into the story, it didn't necessarily drop off. Then just the other day I heard from her that, and she said that what you said was right. It was just some sort of a mental fantasy that I was creating. You see, I've seen that we have a strong sense for any sort of exploitation, but we sort of push that aside, which we must not do. What we must do, like what I've said in Satsang here, is that if you don't like something I did or said, you come into Satsang, open broadcast, and we will not edit it out, and you come and confront me why you did this. This is not right. You see, and we can look at it together. This is openness, you see. So if you sense this kind of openness, you see, because there are many places where you can't question the guru or something. You see? Why is he so egoistic that he's not open?
The guru's persona they make in such a
Yeah,
way that
yeah,
I've been there. I've been
yes,
in
yeah,
those
yes,
ashrams
yes,
for a long time.
yes, yes, yes.
You can't question anything.
Can't question. So, to all of you, I want to say if you get an inkling of any of these sort of exploitative tendencies, best to stay away. You see, so this is what I mean by due diligence. But do your due diligence and do it properly. But after it is clear that it is done, then you commit. You see, because sometimes we just hanging about. We don't even do the due diligence properly, and then we don't commit. Also, we just floating about. You see? But once you've checked and really properly checked, then you commit. It doesn't mean that you close your eyes to anything that happens after that, but you really commit. And if you find something which is not agreeing, which seems like any sort of trouble, then you bring it up to the master. And if there is openness to that sort of conversation, then you know that you belong there. What I liked about Guruji when I met him, besides, of course, I fell in love with him instantly, but besides that also, what I liked was that he was the same on Satsang stage and in the house. He was the same. Always open to any question which was sincere and authentic. Always shining with the same light of truth. You see? It was not like there were two personas. So this authenticity, that's not a garb of guru that you put on and then climb the stage of. This is authentically what you are. So this kind of thing. This one was a great refreshing change for me. And just the openness to be visible. You see, many go and just perform and then they go and hide. You see? Separate, yes, yes. But there's just this openness to be visible, to be just available. This I found very attractive. And then after being in close contact with him, I realized that he's got the wisdom of the Dattatreya and the Ashtavakra and the Ribhu. And he's got the love of Jesus. You see? This I have not seen in any other form that I had come across like this, both together. Because some I had seen which were full of love, love, love. But when you ask them any question, they really don't engage. And some who are very, very intellectual, mental, but they don't have the presence, they don't have the love. So that's why I say we are so blessed to have found this one who has this kind of sage wisdom and also the most abundant form of love. And we must not feel that it must, my love story with the master should be the same as his.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yes, yes, you must not feel that, you see.
Yeah,
Because he says, oh, he fell in love with him instantly. That means it's not happened to me, so I have not found my. It's not like that.
Yeah.
Every love story is different.
And how do you know it's the one?
Yes, that's what I said. That you find that in the presence of this, you feel this resonance, you feel this peace and love, and you find no exploitative tendencies. Then you can trust this one. And this trust develops. How does it develop? When you follow the pointing for yourself and you see that it works, it is true, then this trust develops more and more till one day it becomes devotion. So for some it's instant devotion. You can't find the cause of it. And some, it is the development of trust like this, which then translates into devotion. And every expression, every story is different. So we must not ever benchmark and say this is how it should be.
There's love for so many masters, though. There's like a genuine love.
Yes.
Mm.
And what you're discovering as you discover who you are is that there are not so many masters.
That's one.
All the children of Arunachala are Arunachala itself, including you. Leave all the confusions of Kavita here.
Yeah.
Leave Kavita here. Just go as nothing and see if life stops. My feeling is it won't. Something feels unfinished?
No. Like you said, there's no 100%.
Yes.
Just have to let that go.
Yes. The idea of 100% can be let go.
This is enough. You just know this is enough, yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much for all your pointings and just for everything. I'm so grateful to be here in Satsang. Just so grateful. And what's been burning inside at the moment is this the attachment to the identity that likes to go to ashrams and to have that future of is it devotion or love, that sort of thing. And yes, it's also expression of grace, but I know it's like an identity that's been maintained.
Just tell me, how does it manifest? Give me an
So
example.
I'm sitting in satsang and I'm getting a thoughts of, oh, gotta go to this ashram next. Oh, what about that?
Yeah.
and it's okay, but it's not now. It's not that authenticity of nowness. Instead, is a thought about some other future, um, and and so there's recognition that inside is something that feels really scared of being fully now. Like, okay, no future. That's a thought. It doesn't exist. It's impossible. And there's like an inner knot of, if I'm just fully now, it's like I'm gonna die. There will be no reference as to an I, what an I is, because it's just not anywhere to be found based on anything. And so I've kind of just been sitting with that, and also just praying to let go of maintaining the interest to that thing that wants to imagine it's a thing.
Yes.
Because really, I know it's me who's maintaining the existence of a separate thing.
Yes.
Otherwise, it cannot exist by itself. And yeah, it's like this inner battle. It's just wanting my energy, and it's also like, okay, that can't be me.
Yes.
And I really wanted to come up and share and just be with this with you, really. So thank you for hearing me.
So welcome. When we say that there is this battle, I'm trying to drop the me, and it maintains itself through all of these ideas. And we were talking about a battle in the morning as well. And I said that who is the witness of this battle? So there's a sense of being which through its belief is maintaining the sense of separate identity. But who witnesses, who knows that all of this is happening?
There is like some awareness of it. There is like, okay, this is also appearing somehow, in a sense of lightness.
Yes, but what is appearing is appearing. To whom is it appearing?
I don't know.
Don't know. But is it appearing to you or no?
It's appearing to me, like part of me knows it's me, but then, yes, I suppose, yes.
It is appearing to a I, and I don't know what this I looks like. You see, that's the trouble, isn't it? Because when you look, it's clear, of course, it's appearing to me as this one, as this I. But this I cannot find a single attribute about this. That's why you say, I don't know. You see, but this we'll get used to, because this I has no attributes actually. So this is
kind of empty.
Yes. Even the notion of empty, which would mean that there's a capacity for it to be full, does not apply here, because nothing can fill it up. And you don't have to visualize or imagine anything at all, because sometimes the mind tries to come as an ally and say, here, I'm showing you what it is, you see. So you say empty and it's creating one empty space. But who witnesses even that? You see? This one is truly empty because there is no concept of space in it. You cannot find a location, you cannot find a size of it. That's why one of my favorite questions, maybe my favorite question actually, is, are you aware now? This is the only one for which you say yes, and yet no phenomena was seen to confirm this.
Yeah, it's like the mind tries to come up with some words to explain, but
Yes.
it's almost gone quiet. It can't.
It cannot fathom this, you see.
No.
We have, very few have actually explored it like this. We say, I am aware, but what is this awareness? Where is this awareness? We say, I am aware of this, I am aware of that. We focus so much on the off, whatever it is, and we never really focus on the aware part. What does it mean when I say I am aware? So if we keep the off aside, and we know the other things we say, we can say, I am tasting this, we know what tasting is. I am hearing this, we know what hearing is. I am feeling this, we know what feeling is. But when we say, I am aware of this, what is this aware?
It's like nothing can be said about it.
Yes, yes. Yet you are, no? You say, I am aware, which means that awareness itself is aware of itself. And we must check for this. Is it something which owns awareness? Or is it awareness itself, aware of itself? And the mind will really resist this question.
It's like there's just awareness and oneness. And that's okay. It doesn't feel like a threat to me anymore.
Yes. Is there some fear that comes to you when you contemplate this? Because I notice that anytime you look, your eyes go like this. You start avoiding eye contact.
It's like the fear of it's felt like it's a threat. The
Yes.
question
The
and
question
the
seemed like a
presence.
threat to
It's
the
a
mind.
threat
It
to
is
the ego.
actually.
Yes, yes.
But our allegiance now is shifting from the mind to the self. And as our allegiance is shifting, then that which is a threat to the mind, we welcome actually. As long as we have believed that I am the mind, and a threat comes to the mind, then we want to defend, we want to hide, we want to run. You see? But now we are open to discovering what we truly are. And we realize that this is the mind which is convincing us of the false. So when something comes as if the domination of the mind will get over because of this, we actually welcome it.
It's like, okay, there is space for that also somehow.
Yes. Actually, in satsang, my feeling is to give you the complete diet, complete balanced food, what you need. You don't need your mind's help with anything that I'm saying here. You see? You don't need an interpretation. You don't need the mind to tell you, okay, this is what he's saying. This is what you must do. And very subtly, sometimes for a long time, this can happen. You see? For many, it has been like this, that long time they come to satsang and I say ABC, ABC, but they hear only XYZ, XYZ. Because the mind is quick to subtitle this movie. It's quick to subtitle the movie, and we are so used to reading the subtitles that we believe them. You see? So if we stop listening to the subtitles, this movie starts to become very joyous.
There's that thing of I don't know anything, and just that openness to welcome the
Yes.
uncomfortable,
Yes.
the discomfort,
That's good.
to welcome what feels like a knot or a threat
Yes.
to whatever. Mm.
This is very good. You say, I don't know anything, and this leads to openness, which allows everything to come and to go. This is very beautiful. This I don't know is openness. You're so right about this. As long as we know mentally, then we are closed. And this openness leads to the true knowing, the capital K knowing, the dropping of the false.
Just thank you so much for your
Welcome.
presence,
So
for your
welcome.
pointings,
So welcome.
everything. So grateful.
Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much, my dear. Thank you. first, then you. So, Aparna is my daughter, so I can speak openly. There was some question about, whether it's distracting, baby making noise and things like this. And we contemplated this, and we said that actually it's completely fine, because in the hall in Rishikesh, there's so much noise outside it, you see, but it is accepted. It is accepted because we feel there's nothing anyone can do about it. Here, the little bit of noise that she's making is much lesser than that. But the trouble can only come because this sense is there that we can do something about it. You see, so there's a lack of acceptance about that. But if we accept it as just as it is, then you see that it's nothing at all. I know. I know. It's very good. She's actually been very amazing, because I can't imagine any of my children, either of them. 3 days are over and she's been inside. By today they would be. They would be okay. Okay. She's shy. She's shy. Mm. Oh yeah. Oh, good. Good. Yes. She's shy. I'm shy.
Thank you very much for the grace you have shown. And you are asking that the person.
Little closer or little louder? One of the two.
First thing is that in this retreat, mm, it was not difficult for me to keep silent.
Yes.
But the thing is that what was coming out is the mental talk.
Mental talk. Yes.
It was continuously on.
Yes.
So, day before yesterday in the temple, I was standing there.
Yes.
This mental talk was continuously coming. You were telling that you laugh it out.
Yes.
So I started telling that now discourse is on.
Oh.
So I started telling few times, then it stopped.
No.
Or it's coming down.
Yes.
And a few times I had once I had fear,
Yes.
terrible fear. I was not able to explain it. It was almost unfounded, and for 2 days it lasted.
Yes.
Then I said to myself that let me explode to pieces. So what?
Yes. This is very good.
Then it suddenly stopped.
Yes.
Once I had terrible anger. I never used to get angry.
Yes.
I had some fight with my wife, small
Yes.
fight. And then she threw the phone on the bed. I took it with a lot of anger
Yeah.
to break it.
Yeah.
I lifted my hand, and the moment I told that, hey, you are getting angry, that moment the anger went.
Yeah.
And then I threw it down and broke it to pieces. But the anger was not there.
Yeah.
These are the two occasions I can say by simply observing it,
Yeah.
things vanished. And I can tell you that the person, what you are asking, actually, you are telling, that is a construct of ideas.
Yes.
That is very clearly seen.
Very good.
And I had some slight doubt about the being and awareness.
Yes.
Being comes during the waking state.
Yes.
And then the being is not there in the dream state or deep sleep state.
Can you say about dream state? Let's look together on the dream state. What happens? The dream starts, which means what happened?
There is a projection of a lot of images.
Yes, but the sense that I am the dream character is there, no?
It is there.
Yes.
It is
So
there.
I amness is there even in dreams.
In dream, it is there.
Yes.
And sometimes I even, if I get some nightmares in the dream,
Yes.
I tell myself that don't participate. Something like that comes. I really do not know what it is, but something like that. You don't participate. You just observe the dream. Like that, it comes nowadays. Sometimes, and then there is awareness always, and your pointer that can you turn it off?
Yeah.
This existence.
Yes.
Initially, it was jargon for me. I was not able to understand what is a non-phenomenal happiness. And suddenly I felt that I can't turn it off.
Yes.
Then I felt a great reverence. I don't know what it is.
Yes.
I felt that.
Yes.
And then I wanted to ask you this, whether it is my mind which is playing once again. Because I am always scared of the mind. This mind is creating all kinds of problems.
Yes.
This I could make out that there is no problem with the world.
Yes.
It's problem with the mind.
Yes. Yes.
So this is clearly seen. So I just wanted to ask you this, but day before yesterday you explained that you just see that if there is a peace and calmness,
Yes.
then it is from the source.
Yes. Exactly.
So thank you for this.
Oh.
But this mind is playing the game again. I'm just, maybe it will drop down. I really do not know.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I need your grace, nothing else.
Yes. Always with you. I feel very happy when I hear a report like this, because I can hear that the words which have been shared in Satsang have been really looked at, and they've been contemplated from the place of seeing, not just as mental concepts. You see, this is the true use of Satsang, the words in Satsang. So I'm very happy with this report. And this mind actually now has no real chance, because all this has been seeded in you, is there, and it's playing itself out. Sometimes some things like anger, some things like that can continue. When you said about breaking the phone, actually, it reminded me that actually before I met Guruji, the personality that used to play out from here was very, very nice guy, but it used to, some things used to take hold and fester inside. You see, and then they used to explode once in 6 months. So I have broken maybe more remote controls than anyone else I know. It's some of you that know me personally will be surprised to hear this. Yeah, but it's true like this. But this also settles. I have not broken a remote for many years. Also 1 or 2 phones, if I'm not.
This evaluator is there.
This evaluator
is very much killing me.
But to see that it is there is very good, you see. Because mostly we are doing it, the self-evaluation, and I keep saying this is the evaluator to show you that it is there. Otherwise, it just says that I am evaluating. Then you see that, okay, this is also a play of the mind. Then to see it, to spot it, means you're ready to drop it.
No, thank you.
Yes, the seeing is good.
I thought I would explore this I amness with you.
Yes.
There still seems to be some attachment to the I thought.
To the I thought.
Yeah.
Give me, how does it work? The I thought.
Or let's say to the body. I mean, more concrete.
Okay. How does it play itself? Attachment to the body. How does it?
It feels like
manifest?
as if I am still in the body, or I have a body.
Oh, the sense that I exist in the body. Is
Yeah,
it like that?
yeah.
Actually, what I say is something a little bit radical and contrary to what most other sages have said. Most other sages have said that I am the body idea is the cause of all suffering.
Mm.
But when I look at it, I find that I am the body idea doesn't cause much suffering. It is I am the person idea, the person who owns the body, the person who has relationships, the person who wants to make money, the person who wants freedom is the cause of suffering, is what I see. And I
Okay.
have to only speak what I see,
Mm.
irrespective of even if Bhagwan has said something or not. I have to say that also, honestly. So I see that actually, if I only believe that I am the body, then not so much trouble actually. Because body sometimes has pain, sometimes it needs some attention, but not so much trouble. It is when I pick up the identity of the owner of the body,
Mm.
that whose body this is. If I pick up an identity of the owner of my relationships, the owner of my security and bank account and money and job, see, and the owner of my freedom, this person idea, that is what the cause of suffering is. So I have not found that I am the body idea is so much trouble. Actually, it's quite innocent. I say that many times in if you go to the Indian villages, you know, they just have this contentment because they just feel like they're this body. It's very simple. Their task is to find food for the day. They live a very hand-to-mouth existence, and yet they smile much more than most.
Mm.
You see? So, so I don't find the I am the body idea so much trouble. I feel that the I am the person, I am the ego, I am a separate entity idea, which relies on this shape of the body, the appearance of the body for confirmation. That much we can say. You see? This I am the person idea relies on this body as some sort of a confirmation of separate existence. That we can say. You see? But just the feeling that I am the body is not so much trouble, is my feeling. But I'm open. If you feel differently, I'm open.
Okay, a different question comes to my mind.
Yeah.
Like, what is the relationship between awareness and I amness?
Yes. Yes. The presence is also witnessed by awareness. You see, although it is made up of awareness itself. So if we start the other way, we've had many of us have had this experience. In fact, all of us in our sleep have this experience that awareness is all there is. There is no phenomena, not even the sense I am is there. So awareness is all there is. And then when that which we call waking state comes, we find that a being is here. The sense I am is here. So if awareness was all there is, what must being be made of? Awareness itself. But just that, it plays qualitatively differently. You see? That's why I use the example of water and ice. That it is all water. You see? But it has the ability to form this more qualitatively, seemingly tangible presence called being. That's why my master calls it the dynamic aspect of the same one awareness, which is what we call consciousness, beingness. But you know that there was nothing, there was no thing, and then this being was there in that which we call waking state. So this that is aware that there was no phenomena, and then there was this primal phenomena, that remains unchanged, you see.
Is there awareness that there is no phenomenon?
Yes, yes. Because nobody told you that in your sleep there was nothing. You know it.
Mm.
You see, this knowingness itself is awareness.
But couldn't it be an inference once you wake up?
An inference would mean that you use the mind. You see, inference means what? That a thought comes, you buy it, and that becomes an inference. No, it's like right now, if you fall asleep, it's so boring what I'm saying that you just like this, and you wake up. Sorry, I fell asleep. Without even the thought coming and saying that you fell asleep or something like that, you know it. You see.
Yes.
So this knowing is prior to the thought of whether you were asleep or not. So it is not an inference. You see, even if you ask a child who has not fully developed the language enough to make these inferences and things like this, he'll say, I went to sleep now, I just woke up. The class was so boring, I went to sleep. Kids know, even children know. They're not trying to infer anything. So this knowingness, you see, you say that there was nothing and then a dream came. It is your direct experience. It is not a mental inference. That which knows dream came, that which knows waking came, that also knows that nothing was there.
Here, I mean, there has been a practice of, just being aware of the body, being aware of the sensations. Because I'm not so much, I wouldn't want to believe anything. I know you don't ask us to believe in anything.
Yes.
I myself, I'm like that. I don't want to believe anything unless I see it for myself.
Very good.
So I tend to believe more in sensations rather than in thoughts. Or I put my money on sensation rather than on ideas.
Okay, so let's look at this together. A sensation can come. Without the interpretation of that sensation, what is there to believe or not?
Nothing.
There is nothing to believe, you see. Yeah. But it can be seen. It can be witnessed. Yes. But belief can only be applied to concepts. And concepts only come from thoughts.
Yeah.
So it is not the belief that you're talking about. It is the true contemplation of direct experience, which I'm very happy to hear. Because if it is like I was saying on the first day, that if all that happens is that you came with one set of beliefs and you leave with another set of beliefs, then it is not really what we are talking about. You see, the world is full like that. Every class, everything that you attend, every training, everything is like, I'm going to give you a new set of beliefs. Here is the dropping of all of these ideas and beliefs, and to see that without any attributes, without any conditions to your presence, then you find you truly discover what you are.
Yeah, that has been the attempt, but still I feel something is not seen. Still, there is an urge to inquire.
Yes. So this urge is also seen. This urge is seen. Who is the witness of this urge?
I can't name it.
Can there be an urge without the presence of the being?
No.
All the tasting that happens in this phenomenal realm is phenomenally perceived by being itself. This we can check. You see? Like you drink some water, it's experienced as cold or hot. You see? You touch the chair, it is experienced. You see? All of this is happening on the screen of being, in the space of being, in the presence of being. Nothing is experienced outside of this sense of I amness. You see? So this is the phenomenal perceiving which is happening in being, by being. But there is a knowingness of this, there is an awareness of this, which knows even of the presence or absence of being. See? It's very simple what I'm saying. You know, the mind can say, okay, this is getting abstract now. It's not. I'm just saying that you know that this phenomenal perceiving is happening. This knowingness itself, you see, is unchanging. So that which knows that this phenomena is being experienced, that which knows this entire play is being experienced, that is what you are. And like you said, you must not believe anything I'm saying. You can use it as a pointer and check for yourself. And if you find that your experience is something different from this, then you must come up and say, what do you mean knowing of this? You see? And then you'll discover actually it is simpler than anything what your mind was trying to tell you about it. It is very natural what I'm speaking. You see? I know that I am is here is the same as saying I know I am here. So then just what is being said like this, you check for yourself if it resonates, and if you find any dissonance, then you come up and say, Ananta, I don't find what is this? What do you mean by this? It's good. Because everything I'm saying is actually the inquiry. You see, everything that I'm saying is the inquiry.
They seem to go parallelly, the awareness of the inquiry and inquiry itself, the urge to inquire.
Yes, the urge to inquire is phenomenally perceived in the presence of being,
Yeah.
and there is a knowing of this entire thing, which remains unchanged, whether the urge is there or not. Isn't it? So, what is more original to you? Is it this knowingness, or is it the play of this beingness? What seems like it is more intimate? What seems like it is closer?
Some form of emptiness, I think.
Yes.
Because it doesn't feel like anything.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. This emptiness or nothingness is your original state, is that which witnesses even sleep state. That knowingness of all states which come and go. This one has no size, no shape, no form. That's why it doesn't feel like anything. For it to feel like something, it has to have some quality, you see. But it is the being within which all qualities appear and disappear. This is prior to that.
I'll just let that sink in.
Yes, yes. This checking, not obsessively or anything, just as a joy, just to check. Who am I? Am I aware now? This, and the recognition comes instantly. You see, is the dropping of the conditioning itself, the false conditioning that I was this person, this ego. All of this is dropping very harmoniously in this inquiry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Very good, very good. Thank you. First you.
first of all, just to say thank you, gratitude.
So welcome.
Can everyone hear me okay? Closer?
Either louder or closer.
I just wanted to check the experience that I had the other day, and just because I was actually questioning it as it was happening, and I just wanted to just check that through, see if anything comes with it. So I've had basically a cold or flu type symptoms since I've been here.
Nice.
And an aspect of me was getting frustrated with that. And so I asked, why is that here? And so then the message
Why
came.
is the cold here?
Yeah, why is it here? And so then the message came that you're a hologram of consciousness, and this is a belief of consciousness. And then I said, well, can I change the hologram? And then another voice.
They can't hear you.
Oh, sorry. So then I just asked, can I change the hologram? And
so the hologram of consciousness is the cold, is it, or is it you, or what is the hologram?
No, it's my form.
Your form, yes.
So yeah, so it said that my form is a hologram of consciousness.
Hologram, yes.
And then that the illness or is a belief of the consciousness. Okay, so then I said, can I change? Can I change a hologram? And then I knew I was on shaky ground, because then I'm potentially talking about, asking for a different bowl of milk, because I have a bowl of milk. So then I got out of that. Then I actually asked who's speaking at that point.
Okay, this is good.
And then the words came through that you can just change your mind. And so in terms of changing your mind, you can change a hologram. And I asked again who's speaking. And and then I got the sense that it was like a sort of naughty child speaking.
Yes. She said, I got the sense that there is a naughty child speaking. Maybe if you change the angle of the mic a bit.
Change it here, yeah. So that sense, almost like a sort of a guilty child found out. And then from there, I just decided, and then I just changed my inquiry, and I changed to, where is this illness?
Yes.
And then suddenly I got a very strong sensation of almost like an asphyxiation or a drowning or some sort of feeling of asthma or a constriction.
Yes.
And it was very, very strong. And then at the same time, I thought, well, I'm witnessing this, so it's not me.
Very good.
And then it was still there, and I just allowed it, and I just witnessed it. And then after a period of time, it dissipated. And then I checked again, where is this illness?
Yes.
And it was still there, but it was less. And so then I just kept asking that question for a period of time, until I couldn't find it anymore.
Yes.
So then my question is that in a sense changing the hologram, because I couldn't find that illness.
Yes.
And so therefore it's not there. But this is very,
This is a good question. Actually, just yesterday I was checking about you, whether you're okay or not with the team. Because like I was saying to you on the first day, we met briefly in Bangalore that one day, and you're here in a retreat with me.
That's right.
Which can be so just checking, because sometimes it can seem a bit radical or something, something like this. So I'm happy you came up, because at least we can
talk directly.
This sense of all of this being a projection or hologram of consciousness is true. It can be experienced like this, as if it's a hologram. But the cold is also an appearance within the same hologram.
The what is?
The cold.
The cold, yes, that's right.
The flu is also part of the same hologram. The belief is the interpretation of the cold which the mind came up with
Mhm.
and was bought. You see? So the hologram itself, any part of the appearance, is not a belief. It's an appearance.
It's an appearance.
You see? A belief becomes that which we buy from the mind.
Mhm.
I should not have this cold, for example, or wish this cold would go away. You see? This kind of concepts, when they're bought, then they become a belief. You see? Now, when we start, like you also did, when we start looking at who is the witness of this hologram,
Mhm.
then you come to a point where you realize that the witness actually is unconcerned with the content of the hologram.
Mhm.
You see? So as you come to identify yourself more and more as this witnessing, then you will find that there is no intent or even concern about what is appearing in the hologram. You see? Why I have to say this is because many seem to be stuck in this, trying to change the hologram and what can I do to change it? You see?
That's
Like
right.
The Secret or creative visualization and manifestation, and this, it goes into these territories.
These territories, that's right. Yeah.
And I'm not saying whether they work or not. I'm just saying that as you realize what you are, then it's best to hand it over, all of this, to the creator of this entire play. Because it's still this individual entity which resists what is and wants it to be something else.
Different, that's right.
Wants to be different.
And that's where I was really on shaky ground.
Exactly. So my advice would be that don't worry about the content of the hologram. Stay with your inquiry, which is who is witnessing all of this? And is that touched by any appearance that might come? And you will find that no, it is not. Anything can come. The sublime or the horrendous makes no difference to that which witnesses it.
Because I went one further from the illness and gave myself another scenario, which was say, and maybe I can ask you the same question. You can tell me how you would answer it. But let's just say that there was something just constantly stabbing your foot.
Something stabbing your foot.
It's constantly, just like a knife. It's constant, right? And it doesn't go. It keeps going forever. Can I stay in that state of saying, well, that's not me? So
when it is discovered that you are the awareness of even this, you see, this does not mean that the appearance of the sensation called pain will stop. The sensation called pain will still come.
But then won't there be an aspect that doesn't want that pain?
Yes. So this, and even the reaction to the pain, which is the body saying, ouch, ouch, that will go. You see, there. But even in this, you will find that there is no, I know it seems radical because your example is radical, but even in this, you will find that there is no suffering actually. There is strong pain, undeniably. But suffering means what? It is resentment. It is guilt. I must have done something to cause this. Why is this pain here? Why is this stabbing me all the time? You see, all of this is there. But we don't have to aspire to that because that is really strong, you see. So even Jesus actually on the cross said, "Oh Father, have you forsaken me?" When he was being, put on the cross.
It came to me that concept actually, that Jesus went through this.
Yes. So momentarily, this identity conditioning was still bought even by Jesus. You see, in India, we also have a story. So just to make it clear that it's not just about physical pain, but in India we have this story where Lord Ram, this is a Lord, his name is Ram. His wife was actually taken away from him, in one of the stories, and he experienced strong grief, although he was God himself manifest in human form.
Yeah.
So the point is that anything that takes on this human conditioning will have some amount of it which still remains. That's why you don't find the sages jumping off buildings saying, I'm one with the road, so how does it matter? You don't have sages walking into the ocean saying, I'm one with the ocean. So a little bit of that sense of individuality still remains. But it lasts only momentarily. So Jesus said first, Oh Father, have you forsaken me? And then after a while said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
So he got rid of the resentment.
He got rid of the resentment. He got rid of the idea of being the victim.
The victim.
You see? So like this. But the mind will give us these very strong examples and say, what will you do now with this? Suppose this happens to you. You see? just to feel like, okay, I'm not there yet or something like this. But what we are talking about is just regular day-to-day life. And we'll lose the burden of this conditioning. We'll lose the identity to an extent that the guilt, the pride, the resentment, all of these, like we were talking about in the bus station, no? About this grade A and grade B.
Grade B, yes, that's right, yeah.
So I was saying that these emotions like anger, like hunger, like lust, they can still be allowed to come, like fear. They're allowed to come in the moment, you see. But when we mix the mental concept into it, then it becomes things like guilt, pride, resentment, expectation, remorse, all of this.
Putting some sort of attachment to it.
Yes. So this drops off more and more and more. But remember that there is no 100%. That's why I take that example of sages jumping off buildings and walking into oceans.
There's one example I saw as a child, and it comes back to the body question again. So, and I was living in Singapore, and we're very good friends with the Tamil family, and they effectively took me to a something called, I think it was called Thaipusam. I could have the Indian festival Thaipusam. I could have the name wrong because I was a young child, so I could actually have the name wrong. But it was
Say one last time. What?
Thaipusam.
You know of this? It's a festival? Nice.
It's a festival. So what happened at this festival was that basically people asked God for something, whether it was their loved one was sick, they wanted them to get better, or they had an illness and they were cured. And if they got better, they promised they would do this one thing every year, and it would be to walk around the temple. But it's often it was visually in an extreme way. So, for instance, they would put spears into the body, and then there'd be a big feather thing on top of them.
I've seen this on TV.
Yeah, and then sometimes they'd put like a needle through the tongue.
Yeah. It is, in fact, as you say this, it sounds very egoistic to me to do all of this.
Yeah.
You know, to go through all of this, or for some desire to do this as something, and then something should manifest in our life. And you know what happens?
Only when it does manifest that they then do this as a recognition, as a gratitude or recognition.
Nice.
Yeah. It's conditional. It's only if it does manifest.
But I don't feel God would want to operate in this way. We call him the Father.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, so if I buy my son an iPhone, I don't want him to punish himself and show his gratitude.
In a sense, they weren't punishing themselves because they didn't feel it.
They don't feel it. I don't know how that works. I should explore more about this.
Maybe it's like when people kind of walk on. I haven't done it before, but when people kind of walk on hot coals, maybe it's a
Or the
similar.
mind over matter type thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
No, I don't know how this.
No, yeah, I don't know. Okay.
I've not had the direct experience of any of this myself.
Mhm.
I know that. But I know that if I poke myself, there is still pain. And I try as little speculation as possible. In fact, if it can be zero, it is the best. So I don't like to speculate on any answers. I like to speak from what is experienced here. I find that this body still has pain.
I really thanks for the teaching of simplifying things and then just coming back to effectively the focusing on what is witnessing and what is aware. So that's been hugely beneficial for me in terms of simplifying things enormously. So thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Matthew. What time are we at? 11:51. There's one more hand up. No? Come. Oh, you?
Actually, I have no question, but there is something strong. I saw a thought arising, maybe to check, but I know there's no need to check because the experience, the seeing was so deep. It cannot be taken away. So I don't even need the confirmation or am I right or same like that the personality is not there. Even if I want to change it, I cannot anymore. It's not possible. And one question which is arising, which is not really important, but for example, when the collapsing of ego or whatever to call it, when this happened, I remember I had all knowledge before everything, and I could give all answers, but I was not free. I was not liberated, and there came no new knowledge, and it just happened. There wasn't even doing any self-inquiry at the moment. And I always compare it to like as if I am a robot or a rabbit or whatever, and somebody's trying to explain me why this flower is beautiful. And as far as I can go, okay, and smell and okay, this is beautiful because, but I will never get to this. And why ever, whenever, one day waking up and this is beautiful, but from my experience, everything which really changed everything has no connection. Of today, I had a big revelation, or I don't know. I would say I don't want to make equality, but the biggest thing was really who am I, that the personality is not there. That was my biggest ever. And today I would range it to number 2, but I have no new knowledge.
Yes.
All I could say now, I could say before, it was at the Ramana ashram, and I don't even know if it has something to do with the presence or the picture, or there's a knowing. It is Guruji, it is you, it is God. But there was nothing. These words came and, oh, now I see. Nothing. Just came. And I cannot even be arrogant because it just came. It's nothing, oh, I got it now, or like this. Why does it happen then? And I have nothing new to say, but it's so clear now. There is not even past or future without thought. And if I would be something which would be not able to have thought, I wouldn't even know what past and future is.
Yes.
And even thought, before, it's hard to put it in words. Before, the experience was thought is a hoax. Now it's even, there is no thought. There is just the unchanging.
Yes.
And of course I feel everything rising and still, but even the painful thing or whatever is like, it's ridiculous. It's not even worth calling a fight or and every adjective, like beautiful, nice, stronger, is a hoax too. Because there is only, like, water is not fluid and fire is not hot. And it's like, I have to be bong, then it's hot. But it is just. And then something came like, why does thought anyway exist? And then there was kind of, I saw the blessing in thought. There would be only nothing, which is, but, and it's the first time I kind of on another level realized the blessing of the hoax, or of every thought, and even enjoy the game. I knew that before, but this, whoa.
Yes.
And what still is like there, but it's not really important. But it seems like since 3 months about, it's like high speed, the curtains that fall, and at the same time I see I cannot accelerate or stop or nothing, because it is not like, Ananta, you telling me, oh, this hotel has a roof.
Yes.
Then I looked and, it's not like, it's more like I have no sense for beauty, and one day, this is beautiful. But everything I work to do to see the beauty is nonsense, because it's on another level, or it's a different. And still, there's some connection. I know it has to do with the satsang. I know with Guruji, like I said today, I didn't hear his words or your words, but I knew. And all this falling away has to do with that. Still, it is not like, for example, sitting here, listening to your words, and sometimes, that's, but that not really changes my life.
Yes.
But the things which are really not more knowledge for the mind,
Yes.
life changing. Like I see the beauty now, and
Yes.
before there was no sense for seeing beauty.
Yeah.
It's more like this,
Yeah.
but not out of words I hear.
Yeah.
So I still watch myself keeping, oh, I want more.
Yes.
It fascinates, I want more. Studied. But the experience of, you don't need to
I
study.
understand what you say, because after my first hot seat experience with Guruji, sitting on the hot seat like this, all the really strong insights, not all, but many of the strongest insights have been waiting in the queue for satsang, wait, sitting in the hall in Ramana Ashram, these places. You see, so it is still the same grace of satsang, but it doesn't have to be just he said and then this like this. You see, like I still remember when the sense of openness came here, the sense of just this openness. I was outside the rice mill where Guruji used to have satsang here in Tiruvannamalai, and I was coming back to satsang after lunch. Walking, and this just suddenly everything just opened up. It was just simple allowing of everything, you see, which was clear as knowledge earlier. You see, openness, non-resistance, and all of these concepts were there. But once it just became it became a direct experiencing that here there is no block. It's just everything is open. You see, allowing all things to come like this. All insights can come like this. You see, and these can be really, like you say, life-changing. Beautiful insights continue, and they continue to this day. You see, Guruji also says for him also to this day they continue. So insights can keep coming.
There's something like which came to, will this ever stop?
Yeah.
And a knowing of, no, never.
No. Yes.
But it's okay. I was like,
Yes, of course.
It's
Of course. There are two things that happen. One is that we start to find real joy in this play. It becomes really like a play. Some can say, oh, this I see is a dream. It's lived like a dream. So it doesn't have the heaviness, you see. And even after the realization, like Guruji this time has been using this word called Guru Sadhana. You see, which means what? Sadhana is typically used as a term for practice. It was done before you discover what you are. You see, but there's even this sense of some contemplation which continues even after the realization. You see? Contemplations can continue, insights can continue. Nothing actually stops in that way, except the real belief in the identity, real belief in the personhood. You see, that predominantly stops.
I'm so grateful.
Thank you. Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang this morning. Sadhguru Sri Muji Ji ki Jai. Thank you all watching online as well. Bye for now.